Since the first video game was created, which was Pong, many video games today have been adapted and became better than the old ones, and some even being better than their predecessors. This could be about many things. It could be about graphics, it could be about gameplay, it could be about storytelling, or just the aesthetic of the game. However, even though all these reasons are very good, I feel like not a lot of people are talking about the video game's protagonists and just the main characters of the game, and how their personality, their goal, or even like their character development can improve the game and make it better. I want to discuss about it and talk to with a few people and actually mention other like video game characters that have made games even more better. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So Jose here is a student in Barnfield and has been studying the course of game design, yeah, and he's just started studying, character design. Is that true?
Well, we haven't done character design. I think that's for next year. But throughout this year, we've done side scrollers, first person, third person. So for a side scroller, you'd be able to see the character, but
Yeah.
we wasn't. It was a bit advanced for us to add the animations and the characters.
So in these like games you played, is there like unique characters in there?
Yeah, like in Overwatch, I think there's roughly around 24 characters altogether. Each comes with their own designs, characteristics, and backstory. So the character I really like right now is Life Weaver. He's a new Overwatch character. Actually, no, I like May. Basically, with May, her story is like she's a scientist and she got put into cryo sleep. But when she woke up, all of her fellow scientists was dead. Like they died in their sleep, and she was the only one that woke up. And like her design is a scientist, but with more like how like people in the Arctic dress like with those big furry coats and that, and she's also Chinese.
Oh, okay. So like there's more diversity.
Yeah, there's like we got blacks, robots as well.
Ooh,
Like yeah, we got all types of characters in there.
okay. Thank well that's sort of the thing I've finished all the questionnaire. So thank you for taking part in this interview
problem.
and hope you like pass your course.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, thanks. Character design is an art form revolutionized by new technology. But what does it take to create a gaming character? Gaming tutor Said
Namati?
Namati, thank you, is here to tell us about the process of it. So thank you for coming.
Thanks for inviting.
Where does the inspiration comes from?
Inspiration could come from so many other things, so many other sources. For instance, you could, if it's based on a real story, so your character could come from a real person. If it is something futuristic, then by watching other movies, perhaps other stories, other
Okay.
comic books. If it's something about, I mean, if you look at the unicorns, there isn't any unicorn, a horse with a horn coming out of the head, right?
Yeah.
Someone just came up with that, right? Now, was this an inspiration? Who knows? The inspiration, it's again goes back to your creativity and how creative you are. Then from person to person, it could be different.
Okay. Yeah. What type of software does like people who create like characters use? So like,
Like you said, 3D Studio Max,
mm,
Blender, Modbox. There are few good ones out there where you can go and use them, but these three are probably the most popular one out there you can use for character design.
well, that's all the questions I have. So thank you for joining this interview,
problem.
and I
Pleasure
hope
for
you
inviting me.
do good.
Thank you very much, and I hope I wish the best for you.
Here I have my friend Javante, who is a gamer So that's all the questions that I have. Is there any questions that you want to say?
Yeah, there was one question I want to ask you. So I'm gonna become the host for a sec now.
Okay.
So
Let's see if we
what
can-
is your favorite like character, main character, whatever? Sorry.
Oh man, it should be really interesting. Okay, there's so many good characters. I mean, I know I played loads of games and I became attached to these characters, but there was this one game that I like that had this character that I adored, and he's a reason that he's probably like an influence to another character in the same franchise. That character I'm talking about is Arthur Morgan. So
Right.
Arthur Morgan is just this cowboy in this gang, Dutch Van der Linde. And we see him, riding with the crew and riding until the end where they spoil that Dutches and Micah betrayed them. And we also see him, mentoring John, he's to Arthur. John is like a brother to him, a younger brother, and you can see them from becoming, giving him life lessons, giving him advice, and we also see him go through the stage of is this disease? I can't.
Tuberculosis.
Tuberculosis, and we see him go through it, and we see him be more remorseful. You see him be more, kinder to other people, and we just basically see, and overall, we see him with a bunch of different characters and friendships, and some that even how he reacted to them dying. So yeah, that's why I kind of like Arthur Morgan.
Well, yeah, that's all my questions, and
Yeah.
I'll no longer be your host. I'm gonna transition back to the interviewee, and here's your host.
Yeah, that's all the question we all have. Thank you, Javante, for coming to this interview.
It's all right. What's your Ejaz?
Yeah,
Yeah, so I'm happy to be here, mate. Anytime.
yeah,
But,
yeah. Hopefully you do good in your course and that.
yeah, you too, my man.
In conclusion, video game characters can be hard to write in order to make them more in-depth and more likable. But with good writing and with some good voice actors, you can make that possible. Thank you for watching, and as always,